Welcome to this presentation explaining all about our industry. Complementary Health Professionals, as a professional association, was originally launched back in 1994 and all stems from a passion to support therapists and also to work to benefit our profession as a whole. We are run entirely by expert therapists who are also educators and assessors, and the three of us are shown in this image. To the right, Dan Stevens is our REIKI officer, I'm CAROLE, one of the directors, and Julie Quinn, who is our other director. So as well as our support packages for members, we also accredit schools and colleges, and all of these are rigorously checked for quality assurance, and where applicable we map everything to the CNHC core curricula. That stands for the Complementary and Natural Healthcare Council, and I'll talk more about that later in this video. So the aim of the video is to explain our profession, how it works, and also what to look for when you book a treatment as a client, or what to look out for when you're choosing a training provider if you're looking to get into our profession. So why complementary? As a profession, we prefer this term. It demonstrates how we work alongside other forms of healthcare to support health and well-being. We're not an alternative to mainstream medicine. You may have heard of alternative medicine. That's not a term that we use anymore. We work alongside mainstream medicine to complement it, to support it. We are, as an industry, quite separate from the beauty therapy industry. And this is because we are trained to treat medical conditions within the remits of our training and have medical malpractice insurance. This means that we can treat any of your medical conditions, whether it be reflexology, aromatherapy with essential oils, herbal medicine, and we'll talk more about that as well later in this video. There are many types of complementary therapies that can enhance your well-being, and in many different settings. And again, let's explore that. There are other terms you may have heard that are used in our industry, and that makes people a bit confused sometimes. So holistic therapies. The word holistic should be written as holistic because that's really what it means. It's an adjective, not a noun. So it describes an approach. In our case, an approach to treatment, which means for complementary therapists that we look at the whole person. We take a detailed medical history. We'll look at their presenting symptoms. We'll look at medications, emotional states, mental health, eating and drinking habits, sleep patterns, stress levels, to name just but a few. And as a result, a detailed consultation is needed, in fact, to create the best and safest treatment plan. And again, with realistic outcomes, we're constantly checking to make sure that we are meeting the outcomes, what you came for. The beauty therapy industry will also offer courses which have holistic therapies in the title, and so sometimes this causes confusion because our industries are actually quite separate, as I mentioned earlier. Integrated therapies. So we'll see this when complementary therapies are used within medical institutions. So complementary therapists will work in oncology services, in midwifery services, supporting pregnant women, and we might work in mental health clinics, etc. Some therapists call themselves clinical therapists, i.e. a clinical aromatherapist. And this has become quite popular over the last 10 years, where people are trying to differentiate themselves from a beauty therapist who may have trained in a therapy that is exactly the same. So there are massage therapy and beauty qualifications quite different from a massage qualification in complementary therapies. And then we have beauty therapy. It is a completely different sector, as I've said, with its own separate national occupational standards, and complementary health professionals do not accept any beauty therapists on its membership list. But a beauty therapist can hold a qualification in massage or reflexology. So what's the difference? Well, they're trained for general wellness and their consultation will be brief, whereas a complementary therapist works alongside medical professionals assisting in medical conditions, and so their consultation will be much longer. They will also have had extensive training in anatomy, physiology and pathology. Are we a regulated profession? To a certain degree, yes, we are. Let's explain what's happened. So in 2001, some 20 years ago now, the government issued a response to a House of Lords Select Committee on regulation for our industry and recommended that we should come together in order to protect the public to create a regulatory body. So that's what happened. We all came together and over a period of many years worked to create a standard, a qualification standard for each of the main professions. At this time, acupuncture and herbal medicine were singled out with the potential for statutory regulation, which has never actually materialised. So the difference between voluntary self-regulation, which is what we have, and statutory regulation is enshrined in law. For example, a nurse will be on the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and a midwife obviously, and it's actually illegal to call yourself a nurse or a midwife unless you have the correct qualification and you're on the Nursing and Midwifery Council register. Unfortunately, we don't have that protection of title. So what happened from about 2002 onwards is that working groups were set up, regulation working groups, and all of the main professional associations came together and we worked on creating standards for each of the therapies with a view to having a voluntary self-regulatory body because we were told that we weren't eligible for statutory regulation at that time. And during this period, funding was also made available from the Department of Health, and we worked on national occupational standards for 16 of the therapies, I believe. And we were involved with that as well. So we were involved in 3 of the regulatory working groups. We were actually involved with massage, with the reflexology and the aromatherapy. And we were particularly worked on the national occupational standards for aromatherapy. So 7 years of work and or more we worked, and the development was of the voluntary self-regulatory body, and that's the CNHC, and you can see their logo there on the right. And being a CNHC registrant guarantees to the public that you have attained the expected standard. So they are our voluntary self-regulatory body, and its register is also accredited with the Professional Standards Authority. And so it's an accredited register, and that's the same body that oversees the statutory registers in other healthcare professions such as nursing, physiotherapy, paramedics, and so on. So we are a regulated profession, as I said at the beginning of this slide, but it's only voluntary self-regulation and not statutory. So it's not enshrined in law, and therapists do not have to register, although it's a good idea to be registered because, as I said, it shows that you've met that standard. Our titles as therapists are not protected, as I've said, and the downside of that is that anyone can call themselves a massage therapist or an aromatherapist or anything they like, even if they have just read a book or done an online course. We'll talk more on that later. Looking at the difference between a regulatory body and a professional association, well, we see this differentiation in all healthcare professions. As I said earlier, a nurse or a midwife will belong to be registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council, but their professional association or trade body will be something else, like the Royal College of Nursing, for example. So in our profession, the CNHC, as our regulator, has a sole purpose of protecting the public. And it does this through imposing certain conditions that therapists on the register have to meet, both initially to get onto the register and then annually in order to stay on the register. So they have to do something called CPD, or continuing professional development, to keep their knowledge and skills up to date. So it also issues standards of education that, after consultation with stakeholders such as ourselves, we're always involved. We work closely with the CNHC, so we're always involved in consultation and development of standards. And these become the benchmark to which all reputable training and awarding organisations follow. So the Complementary Natural Healthcare Council also adjudicates controversies and also conducts disciplinary hearings should there be a complaint about one of its registrants. They impose disciplinary sanctions that mirror those of a statutory healthcare regulator, and you do make a note there that you're never a member of the CNHC. It's not a membership body, it's a regulator. So you are a CNHC registrant on one of its registers. So you might be on the aromatherapy register and the massage register, or you might be on the REIKI register and so on. So Complementary Health Professionals is a professional association, and our job is to look after our members, the therapists. And we also offer a wide range of benefits. And these vary from one organisation to another, but we offer our members a discounted insurance scheme, excellent opportunities for continuing professional development through our accredited course providers. We have a helpline because we're all experienced therapists in the office and educators. We'll accredit courses, all checked against CNHC standards, all quality assured. Discounts on a wide range of services and products. We issue guides in various areas, and certainly through the COVID-19 pandemic we were constantly providing our members with updates and telling them how they should operate their practice. We also have marketing guides, GDPR requirements, and of course during the pandemic, as I said, we release these regular updates. We've got a quarterly newsletter which is embedded into a digital version of Holistic Therapist magazine, so they get that for free. And our members are exempt from London special treatment licensing in most of the London boroughs. We offer discounted DBS enhanced checks, and that's for therapists who are working with children or vulnerable adults, and also verification of qualifications, so that if they want to become CNHC registered, we do all of that paperwork for free for our members. And in fact, for most of the therapies, we do actually have the same standards for membership that the CNHC has for registration. On top of all of this, we support our members through being part of lead bodies, councils in various therapies. And we work not only in the interest of our members, but also to enhance our profession as a whole, and that is our passion. And we also support members who find themselves on a disciplinary hearing held via the CNHC, and all of our members will use MCHP behind their name. So that's something to look out for when you're engaging a complementary therapy. So the CNHC, the Complementary Natural Healthcare Council, has 16 therapies that it regulates. And so we have 16 core curricula to follow. And you can actually see these for yourself on the CNHC's website. Just click on the link there, or on the CNHC core curricula page. It's very easy to find. Obviously there's a lot more than 16 complementary therapies out there, but those are the ones that are the most popular ones that have been looked after by the CNHC. We also have these national occupational standards, as we've said before, for the various therapies, and we worked on the aromatherapy ones. But you can't use the national occupational standards on their own when developing a syllabus for a qualification. You have to use it in conjunction with these core curricula, because the core curricula puts the flesh on the bones of the qualification. So it will state the number of hours in class that need to be undertaken. It will state the total qualification time. It will state the number of case studies that you have to complete, the assessment methodology that has to be undertaken for that. There's usually some form of external assessment that has to take place. For all the other therapies that exist, we will look for either common standards that exist for that profession, or if it's a newer therapy, then with no national occupational standards that's been developed, we will work with those therapists to develop standards in line with what is expected elsewhere to ensure quality. So we really are passionate about standards, standardisation, quality assurance and excellence, and all of our accredited training providers have that same passion, and that's why they come to us, to have their qualifications accredited. And everybody knows that we stand for quality. So you can view our accredited training provider list on our website. Just click on the drop down for under courses for the accredited course providers. And that's me a very long time ago on the far left in that image, back in 2002. And this is the group of people that helped develop the aromatherapy national occupational standards, which was the first therapy to have the NOS published. So these are the most common complementary therapies. You may have heard of all of them, or some of them may be new to you. We're not going to go through all of these therapies, but we are going to go through some of the more common ones. So massage therapy is probably the most well-known and most popular, I'm sure, of all the therapies. And everyone has heard of it, even if you've never experienced a massage. And if you haven't, why not? Because it's absolutely marvellous. So massage involves the manipulation of soft tissues, muscles, and other underlying structures, soft tissue, using a range of hand and arm movements, and has a plethora of benefits to both mind and body. And all of these benefits are very well researched. A skilled massage therapist will have trained in a variety of techniques and be qualified to help with a wide range of medical conditions as a result. Many benefits, as I've said, and they include things like improved circulation, improved immune function, reduction in stress and anxiety levels, reduction in pain and muscle tension, better sleep as a result of that, increased energy and focus, improved digestion. I could easily write a huge essay on this, and in fact, if you're on a massage therapy qualification, that's normally a piece of coursework that you have to do. A massage therapist will often specialise postgraduate and undertake courses in things like oncology massage, pregnancy massage, lymphatic drainage, infant massage, remedial massage, trigger point therapy, acupressure, myofascial release, scar work, just to name a few. Sometimes massage therapists will work in the NHS, and they're usually required to be a CNHC registrant, and sometimes the NHS will fund those treatments, but not always. As you can see from the logo at the top of the slide, we are a member of the General Council for Massage Therapies, and that includes all soft tissue therapies, and we work collaboratively within this organisation for the benefit of our members and for the whole UK massage profession. Aromatherapy or essential oil therapy. So this is the systematic external use of essential oils in holistic treatments, and it aims to improve physical, mental and emotional well-being. Essential oils can work holistically because they can work on physical conditions, but they also work directly on the brain and the limbic system within the brain, and can have an immediate emotional effect. So used extensively in lots of different ways, both for physical ailments and also mental and emotional well-being. And again, all of this is very well researched. Essential oils are extracted from plants, and they all possess distinctive therapeutic properties which we can use. Complementary Health Professionals is a member of the Aromatherapy Council, and we have been right from the beginning, more or less. The Aromatherapy Council was originally launched in 1990, so we joined it 4 years later. And we were instrumental in the development of the standards for the Aromatherapy Council, and then obviously we have participated in the more recent CNHC aromatherapy core curriculum in terms of feeding back when we were consulted, as were the rest of the aromatherapy profession, or at least those organisations that are reputable. There's a great deal of published medical research, as I've said, on the efficacy of essential oils, and this is mainly due to their chemical makeup. Essential oils are extracted from a single botanical source by distillation, expression, and are highly concentrated, so we have to use them with extreme care and always in dilution. We don't put them neat on the skin. In the UK, we only advocate the external use of essential oils, and that's through dermal application or inhalations. So what's the difference between aromatherapy and essential oil therapy? Well, aromatherapy is the use of essential oils generally in massage treatments, but an aromatherapist will also be able to make up blends for your specific ailments for you to take home in between treatments. The massage is usually gentle and slow, allowing the client to deeply relax, almost like an out-of-body experience. You're so relaxed. And whilst the oils are pushed into the body through the skin, and the essential oil molecules are so small that they can penetrate through the skin and enter the body circulation, just the same as topically applied medicines. So you could just train in essential oil therapy if you didn't want to offer massage, and it's the same qualification that an aromatherapist would do, but all the massage elements have been stripped out. So you'll learn all the blending for use, making up creams, lotions, balms, inhalations, compresses, etc., for the benefit of your clients. And essential oils can be used to treat a wide range of medical conditions, and your therapist will take a very detailed consultation. It can last up to 30 minutes in order to create exactly the right blend suited especially for your individual needs, taking all the safety precautions. We'll be looking at medications to make sure there's no potential interaction between the essential oils and any medications you may be taking, for example. And we need to often patch test before we use the essential oils on your skin to make sure that there aren't any issues. We accredit several courses, both in aromatherapy and in essential oil therapy, so please go to our website and check out our accredited training provider page where you can access all their information. Reflexology is done through the feet, and it's based on the theory that the whole body can be treated through specific pressures. So the therapist will usually mainly work on your feet, but there are also reflex points in the hands and also in the ears and actually also in the head. Although it may have its origins in traditional Eastern medicine, modern reflexology has come from America, and it was Dr. William Fitzgerald published his findings and called it zone therapy back in 1917. And if you press on certain areas, he said, that caused a local type of anesthesia. So as with all the other therapies that we could talk about, reflexology has many benefits and can assist with many medical conditions. So as well as reducing stress and anxiety, it is a very relaxing treatment to have. It will reduce pain, it can lift your mood, it can boost your immune system, help balance the hormone levels in the body, assist with fertility issues, and we can use it during pregnancy with additional training. It can improve your digestion, it treats nerve pain. And as with massage and aromatherapy, it is used in NHS oncology units to help people who have cancer, and is also used in terminal care. So complementary health professionals, under its previous name, which we were called the Aromatherapy and Allied Practitioners Association originally, we changed our name back in 2015, relaunched as Complementary Health Professionals in order to better represent the full range of therapies offered by our members. So as part of the regulatory work that I mentioned earlier, the Reflexology Forum was the body that was working on the standards of bringing the reflexology profession together. So we worked on that forum to create the standard core curriculum for reflexology that was originally published in 2008, and then the current core curriculum, which is now held by the Complementary Natural Healthcare Council, was published in 2018, and obviously we were consulted on that. Reiki is another popular complementary therapy that has its origins in the East. In fact, the word Reiki comes from two Japanese words, Rei meaning universal energy and Ki meaning life energy. The premise of Reiki is therefore to balance one's energy vibrations to restore balance and health. In Eastern medicine, it's understood that illness is created through blocks in the human energy field, so Reiki uses healing to remove the blocks and restore balance. And it can be used to treat a wide range of conditions and support mental health. It's used in oncology units within the NHS, and we have published a blog this last year, in fact, on Reiki in an NHS mental health unit. So if you head over to our articles page on our website, you'll find that one. Training, or attunement as it's called in Reiki, needs to be done through an accredited trainer, and this should be someone on the UK Reiki Council verified list, and you can find this here on the Reiki Council's website. Easy to find verified Reiki courses. So as long as you're attuned by the right person, you can trace your lineage back, you will be able to register with the CNHC, and they, as I said, they hold the current core curriculum. You'll need to have a Reiki 2 attunement to practice. There's Reiki 1 first, which is to work on yourself mainly, then Reiki 2 to practice, and then you can go on and become a Reiki master. Complementary Health Professionals is a member of the UK Reiki Council, and we offer upgrade courses for people if your original Reiki qualification was not up to speed with the CNHC and Reiki Council standards. So we can help you with that if you would like to be a CNHC registrant. Sports massage is also very popular, and people will train in this not just because they want to work in treat sporting injuries and work in the sports industry, but also to learn deep tissue and myofascial release techniques in order to treat a wide range of medical issues. So, not exclusively for athletes, and you should choose this type of massage treatment if you are looking for a deep massage to address an old or existing injury. In the CNHC core curriculum, which was published in 2019 for sports massage, it states that sports massage therapists work alongside medical and healthcare teams as well as in sporting environments. So sports massage therapists will also assess biomechanics, so that's your posture, and be trained in multiple deep techniques, in soft tissue release, muscle energy techniques, myofascial techniques, positional release, neuromuscular trigger point therapy, passive stretching, and application of ice and heat. So in order to comply with the CNHC core curriculum, therapists need to at least have a level 4 sports massage qualification, but we recommend going in for the level 5. And 2 of our accredited training providers offer top quality sports massage training. So we've got the North London School of Sports Massage, and they offer the BTEC level 5, that's a 2-year training, and Jing Advanced Massage in Brighton, who offer the BTEC level 6, which is a 3-year training. And as we've said before, sometimes it's worth travelling to do the best course you can, and it's always worth investing in your business to do the very best training you can afford. Herbal medicine. So herbal medicines are made from the whole plant, and that's different from aromatherapy, which uses the chemical products in the glands of plant cells in high concentrate. So here the whole plant is being used, not just the chemical components of these oil glands. However, as with aromatherapy, just because it's from a plant and considered natural, it doesn't mean it's safe to take or use indiscriminately. So training in herbal medicine is therefore intense, usually studied over 3 years. In the past, universities offered the degree in herbal medicine, but over the past 6 years, this has changed and the qualifications are now through private institutions. So if you're thinking of training in herbal medicine, we recommend you go to the National Institute of Medical Herbalists, because they're the leading association for practitioners in herbal medicine, and we recommend you do one of their accredited courses, which you can find on their website, nimh.org.uk. If you're interested in learning this as an introductory course for personal use or continuing professional development, or just to dip your toe before you go into doing a 3-year qualification, we do have an accredited online introductory course, and that's through one of our training providers, Natural Therapeutics. Herbal medicine can be in different formats, such as dried herbs, powdered herbs, they might be in capsule form, in a liquid state, such as a tincture or herbal tea for internal consumption, or herbs can be added to creams and lotions for topical applications. Statutory regulation of herbal medicine has been ongoing since 2001. As we mentioned earlier, it was they always hoped that they would get statutory regulation. So in 2015 it was denied again, and there was a report on the .gov.uk website, further endorsed in 2017. So at the moment that it isn't statutorily regulated. Acupuncture. This therapy is one that you will have no doubt heard about. It's the oldest form of healthcare in the world. The earliest written texts on acupuncture date back to 5,000 years ago in China. And with all of the complementary therapies, it is holistic in its approach, treating the whole person rather than just isolated complaints. So again, it's a degree course or a 3-year qualification that you will need to do. It's very, very involved to become an acupuncturist. They use different techniques to diagnose what is required, where to put the needles, which are very fine. They don't hurt when they go in. They're just as fine as the hair on your head. So they check where to put them through pulse taking, and this isn't a circulation pulse, it's a different pulse, and observing the tongue and the face. So they might ask you to stick your tongue out when you're having your consultation, where they can read using Chinese diagnosis techniques what problems are, and then they use these very fine needles in specific acupoints on the body in order to restore the flow of qi, Do you remember we mentioned that earlier in Reiki? This is the Chinese spelling of Qi, and this is a word meaning universal energy. And this flows in the meridians. So as you can see from this image on the side, this is an acupuncture doll. You can see all these lines that are mapped out on the body, and these are the meridians. They're like road maps on the body. And they can't be seen by the naked eye, but infrared photography has captured them. Additional techniques may be used. They might use moxibustion, which is herbs that could be burnt over the needle. Cupping, which you may have heard of, which is glass ball cup to pull the skin through, to increase circulation, get energy moving. They might use a form of massage called tuina and also gua sha. And the whole idea is to remove blocks of energy in these meridians and restore balance as a result. Now, this profession is voluntary self-regulated by the British Acupuncture Council, and their register is also accredited by the Professional Standards Authority. So they have taken up the authority of regulating or self-regulating the acupuncture profession. So if you're going to have acupuncture, you must always check that they are a member of the British Acupuncture Council. And their accreditation board oversees accredited courses in acupuncture as well. So if you want to train in acupuncture, you can find out more on their website. That's the baab.org.uk and accredited courses. So are you thinking about training in complementary medicine or complementary therapies? So you do need to check really carefully before committing to a course of study, because you don't want to spend a lot of money or spend a huge amount of time completing a qualification that's not what you thought it was, and you find out later that it doesn't allow you to register with a professional association or with the CNHC. So in the beauty therapy industry, the course outlines or syllabus will often be supported by the Hairdressing and Beauty Industry Authority, HABIA. So this is the standard setting body for the hair and beauty industry, and as such, these courses are going to fall into the beauty therapy sector. So ask who accredits the course, and if you see that it's HABIA, then you know it's probably a beauty therapy course. And colleges will often offer massage, aromatherapy, reflexology or holistic therapies courses, and these are all about promoting well-being, relaxation. The courses can be at level 2 or at level 3. And before you part with your money, go along to an open day, ask questions about the course, who recognises it, who accredits it, whether or not it's a beauty or a complementary therapy qualification. And if you need help, if you can't find the information or it's not clear, please email our office with a link of the course you're thinking of doing, and we'll be happy to check it out for you and give you an unbiased opinion, because again, as I said, our passion is about the profession and helping you choose the right course for what you want to do at the end of it. If you want to be a beauty therapist, then by all means, that's the course you want to do, something that is accredited by HABIA. However, if you want to train in complementary therapies, you need to check that you are enrolling on the right course. Let's discuss this on the next slide. So in the complementary therapy industry or sector, we require a minimum of a level 3 diploma, not a level 3 certificate, a level 3 diploma. So for the main therapies, the CNHC holds the agreed core curricula, as we've already said, and these are developed in consultation with all the main reputable bodies. Many courses in complementary therapies are also offered at level 4, 5 and 6, as we mentioned earlier, and sports massage in particular. And they usually love to state that the course would qualify you for CNHC registration on them, because that's a real wonderful boast. And also that they're accredited with one of the professional associations or even with an awarding organisation. So something like VTC, ITEC, City and Guilds, many of these awarding organisations will offer the right complementary therapy qualification. But again, they also offer beauty therapy qualifications, so you have to be really careful to check which course you're enrolling on. So always ask the course provider about this information. Check with the associations that they say they're accredited with. Find out if they are who they say they are. Do they recognise the course that you're thinking of enrolling on? The case study requirement and total qualification time is usually much greater than a course that isn't up to standard. So, for example, the requirement is for 60 case studies in an aromatherapy diploma with a total qualification time of 590 hours. And in reflexology, for example, it requires 100 case studies and a total qualification time of 630 hours. You could also ask if your tutor is a practitioner, and if they are, booking a treatment with them, find out, experience what you're going to be taught firsthand. So for our accredited schools list who all work to these agreed standards, as I've said before, please visit our website and click on our accredited course providers under the courses drop down. A lot of people are going to online training, and it's always very sad for us when people are applying for membership or CNHC registration and they've done an online only course, because the complementary therapy industry in general does not recognise online only courses, especially for bodywork therapies, but also for therapies such as REIKI, counselling, hypnotherapy courses. Therefore, if you're thinking of doing a course that has no contact hours with a tutor, it's not assessed in a classroom with an independent examiner, it's probably not going to be recognised, even if the company website tells you that it's accredited with one association or another and offers insurance. And because we're not statutory regulated, some insurance companies will cover anything, even online courses. So you can get insurance to practice after you've done an online course, but that's not necessarily going to give you any status. You're not going to be able to become a member of one of the reputable professional associations that work with the Complementary Natural Healthcare Council. So it is sad that not all associations are equal. So the best thing you can do is to check to see if they're a verifying organisation for the CNHC, and then you know they're committed to standards. And again, you can go onto the CNHC website and find this, a list of verifying organisations, and download the PDF and see for yourself in each therapy that you are thinking of training in. Now, there are blended learning courses. So this is where the theory is delivered online, but the practical skills are still taught in class and assessed externally. And you really do need to do in-class training for your practical skills in order to be proficient and to be able to offer the best possible service to your clients. This is your business, this is our profession, and you need to be able to have trained properly. If you want a successful business at the end of all of this studying, then do the best course you can afford, even if that means travelling further afield. I've even travelled to Australia to do some studying. Let's face it, you wouldn't want to go to a dentist or an osteopath who'd only done an online training course, would you? And come to think of it, you probably wouldn't even want to visit a hairdresser who had just done an online course. So why would you want to go to a massage therapist that had just learned from a video? CPD or continuing professional development courses can sometimes be delivered online, but only that's where the theory enhances your existing skills and benefits your practice. So for example, if you've done an aromatherapy diploma and you want to do some training in chronic pathologies or essential oils for mental health, those are absolutely fine to be done online. But if it's a brand new practical technique that you're learning, it needs to be learned in person so that an assessor can correct you as you learn and then sign you off when you have got it quite right and that you're able to go out and practice that new skill on your clients. So what is continuing professional development and what one's the best for therapists? So as we've said, CPD stands for Continuing Professional Development, and as a professional association we require our members attain 15 hours per year to keep their knowledge up to date, and that therefore best serves the needs of their clients. And otherwise, yes, you would just stagnate. If you did a qualification in massage in 2000 and 22 years on, you haven't done any training since, you just will have be doing the same thing you learned originally and haven't developed professionally. So CPD allows therapists to be inspired, learn new techniques, gain new ideas, reinforce existing theories. It is both personally and professionally enhancing, and that's why it's a requirement for all healthcare professionals. In the NHS, staff will have to do the same, as well as reflective practice. So when looking at a CPD course, you do need to be discerning and choose ones that are meaningful and worthwhile. They're going to enhance your practice, help you to develop your practice and make your business more successful. There are lots of courses out there, and some are not value for money at all. CPD is more than just a tick box exercise to enable you to re-register each year with your association or re-register with the CNAC, and it should be designed to help you in your practice to grow and expand. So we don't like one-day courses with no assessment or case studies, because these don't give you any value for money or give you the confidence or precise skills to practice. So instead of doing lots of courses, specialise in a particular area and add to this knowledge each year. But if you're just doing a one-day course to top up, so you're already qualified in a particular therapy and you're just doing a one-day course to top up that knowledge, that's okay, as long as it's just refreshing your knowledge and not a new skill. There are some great online theory-based courses that you can do for CPD, but these do need to be supported by a tutor, not just one of these online ones that you just go through page by page and download a certificate at the end. You want to have a connection with someone and have this personal contact, and you need to have your coursework assessed by them for competency and quality. In short, don't sell yourself short when doing CPD courses. So if you're already a therapist and you would like to join Complementary Health Professionals, we'd be delighted to welcome you to our therapy family. And our criteria for membership is that you have undertaken a recognised qualification. So if it's one of the therapies self-regulated by the CNHC, then we expect your qualification to have been mapped to that standard. If you have a therapy that does not have a standard qualification, we will need to check that you have studied, attained a high level of anatomy, physiology and pathology, and that your course is recognised within that therapy as being of an approved standard. If you've studied overseas, we will request a copy of the syllabus where you studied and map it against the UK standards. Members of the public can be assured that a CHP member is highly trained, has insurance to practice, and will be continually updating their skills and knowledge. They also adhere to a strict code of conduct and ethics. You can join Complementary Health Professionals as a full member on our website. It's an online application. Just click on the membership packages on the home page and send us your qualification certificates by email so that we can check everything out for you. And if you want to send if you're not sure that you qualify for membership, you can just email across your certificates and we'll give you the advice of whether or not we can accept you, and if not, what you would need to do in order to upgrade your qualifications. And we do take into account years in practice, and we always take into account continuing professional development courses that you've done. It's really important to be a member of a professional association. It gives you credibility, and it also gives you, most importantly, a huge amount of support and keeps you connected with the profession. Working as a complementary therapist can often be quite a lonely profession because you're working as a self-employed therapist. And if you don't work in a clinic, then you might be working as a mobile therapist or from home. And having someone that you can pick up the phone to or send an email to for support is really, really important. And we also have an in-person annual conference every year, and that's also a great way to connect as well as gain continuing professional development points from the speakers and workshops that we have on offer. Please do get in contact with the office if you would like any information. Our website is complementaryhealthprofessionals.co.uk. Our telephone number is 0333 577 3340. That's and our email address, is inquiries@complementaryhealthprofessionals.co.uk, and we always love to hear from you. Thank you.